have an intro for this video because that's how important this is to me, and it's honestly been all over my timeline, and I just don't have anybody to talk about this with because I don't know that many people that are in the commentary drama channel space. But this is really important to me because this isn't drama anymore at this point. This is actually very dangerous and very manipulating and just disgusting. And as someone who's been manipulated by all different types, you know, of people and situations that are shady and scammy and just make you feel horrible and rub you the wrong way, I wanted to post this video just to kind of give the TLDR, because what I've been seeing is a lot of discourse and a lot of miscommunication because, you know, these creators are making hour-long videos that many people don't have time to watch. For me, like, I love putting these videos in my ear if I'm doing chores or if I'm like, you know, doing something and I'm like at the job, whatever it is. Like, it does, like, I love like listening to drama commentary channels just in the background of my day and my life. But this video is literally about Joshua David Evans and the whole drama with Adam McIntyre, and Peter Mons even mentioned in this video or in these videos, and Gavin Reads It All. And the Gavin Reads It All of video that he posted recently was the breaking point for me, where it was like, I need to talk about this because I don't see anyone talking about this. I'm definitely gonna make a couple TikToks like spreading awareness about this because this happens so many times to many up-and-coming creators, small creators, and it's a bigger issue than petty drama. This is dangerous, this is important, and it should be addressed. So I'm gonna go to the beginning of it all. If you have not been on YouTube in 2020 or 2023, when the Swoop documentaries came out, this was when Colleen Ballinger was exposed for grooming minors. There was, you know, one of the predominantly persons that was taken advantage of was Adam McIntyre because he was groomed into doing free labor for her. She was sending him lingerie, doing a ton of inappropriate things. She came out with the big ukulele video. I don't want to spend so much time on her because I'm so sick of her. She's not going to address anything that's happened. She's not going to learn from her mistakes. Her career already is stagnant as it is. Like, there's just no need for her to be mentioned anymore. And if you want to do a deep dive, I highly encourage you to watch Swoop's documentary. Swoop did such an amazing, thorough job of breaking everything that happened down, from all the victims, not just Adam, Becky, Oliver, and you know, Adam as well. But it's just a very well done documentary. And you know, what brought this up again was the talk of another documentary coming out, and we're just gonna get right into it. So if you guys don't know who Adam McIntyre is, he has built his presence on YouTube by being a commentary channel, by providing good content for people, doing Twitch live streams. He was building an online presence way before this Colleen stuff. Then he came out about what Colleen did to him in 2020, and he was destroyed on the internet. And that's enough, like literally being dragged so hard to being, you know, sent death threats and the most vile things. And this is something that you're passionate about and you want to make content creation your full-time career. That's enough to deter anybody from being in the space. But Adam, he decided to take that on the chin and just continue to push his channel without ever mentioning her, without ever mentioning Colleen. Was just gonna let it go. He told his story, whatever. Cody Rants, I'm not even gonna speak about her because she just wanted to, you know, re-release the story for a new laptop, and that's freaking crazy to me because you obviously don't care about victims. But Cody Rants was another person that was on YouTube at the time. She has rebranded to something like Cody Reads or something, and she basically came out and said that everything that Adam McIntyre said in the very beginning was true. And she also was writing creepy sexual fan fictions with underage people too. So she's a whole weirdo in herself, but she was the one that dragged Adam back into this mess to where Adam was like, okay, you know what, it's 2023, I think. Here I am being dragged into this mess. I'm just going to show you every single DM I have with me and Colleen, and you can decide from there. He showed every single DM, just scrolling through his Instagram, no cuts, no edits, of every conversation and his interactions with Colleen. She led this man on. She stole his ideas from him, got free labor out of him, was doing weird sexual stuff, confiding about her relationship issues to him while he was underage at the time. And that was all proven. And she just wrote it off in her toxic gossip train video as their lies, their drama, whatever. So that was the whole Colleen, everything. TLDR in that couple minutes. What's bringing it back in 2026 today is Joshua David Evans has decided to basically use this opportunity to become a drama channel, because I guess the content he was posting, from the looks of it, he does not know what he wants to post. He's kind of up in the air on what he wants to post. He doesn't know what's going on, and he just wanted to use this opportunity to get back in the limelight. What brought this up again in 2026 was Adam McIntyre is featured as a featured creator at VidCon. And this is a big milestone for many content creators that are on YouTube that want to be considered and taken seriously. He was invited as a featured creator, and they always release featured creators on a rolling basis. So every week, whatever day, they'll post a huge lineup of people, and Adam was listed in that lineup. After he confirmed everything to go to VidCon, a week later, a couple days later, they released that Rachel Ballinger was going to be a featured creator. And that's crazy to me, because if you've been on YouTube and you know, like VidCon, you know that Colleen literally was canceled, and the ukulele video has over millions of views and ad revenue that you were paying out to her. But anyways, it's very unrealistic to think that VidCon and YouTube doesn't know about the Colleen Ballinger of it all. Like, this girl, Colleen Ballinger, did the Miranda sings, the red lipstick, like, had all the kids. I literally went to one of her shows because my sister was obsessed with her at the time, like, when my sister was younger, and she was like 8 or 9. Like, she appealed to kids. She was literally on, like, Nickelodeon, I think, at one point. Yeah, she went to, like, the Kids' Choice Awards at Nickelodeon. Like, she had a whole career as Miranda sings. So you know who she is. You know her family, Rachel Ballinger, because Rachel does a podcast with Colleen. That's the only reason that Rachel was even relevant as a content creator. She does a podcast with her sister, Colleen Ballinger, and they just make podcast videos, I guess, I don't know, maybe weekly. I don't know. I haven't seen their channel. But they make podcasts, because I've seen them on clips on social media, and they just act like nothing happened. They literally act like nothing happened. And Rachel came out and addressed it. She said that, you know, Colleen was guilty of having parasocial relationships with her fans, but she's not a groomer, and all the real hardcore stuff that she was accused of, F that. Like, there's a big, you know, trending clip of her saying F that, because she thinks that it's all lies, and she was only her sister was only guilty of partaking in parasocial relationships. Anyways, whatever. I don't care for them. Like I said, no one really talks about them unless they are pushed and shoved down people's throats on this YouTube platform. That's why I believe it's time for a new wave of genuine content creators that are actual caring human beings, because this is crazy to me. But basically, Adam was reacting to Rachel basically defending Colleen, and was upset that she was removed from VidCon. She didn't really express or say that she was removed from VidCon because of the whole drama, after, you know, finding out that she was invited, and then she was uninvited because of all the hate that VidCon was getting for even thinking about inviting the Ballingers to VidCon. And so Adam was making a video about it, because this is directly related to him. Like, he felt horrible, he felt uncomfortable, he felt unsafe to be in a situation where he would have to see the Ballingers again, and, you know, with no accountability, and, you know, just the weirdness of it all. He had every right to make a video about it, expressing his concern about it, because that's sneaky, you know what I mean? You invite Adam knowing that he's Colleen's, you know, I don't even like saying he's Colleen's victim, but he is, because that's not all he is. People see him as just Colleen's victim, and he's not. Like, people really tried to drag him in and keep him locked into this ideology that he's only good as Colleen's victim. That's so effed up, and that's not even the point. He has made such an amazing community based off of his own content, and just sharing pop culture, and sharing, you know, commenting, and, you know, what he's passionate about in the drama. You know, he does a variety of videos, and he's very consistent. That's why he's successful, not because he literally was the victim of Colleen Ballinger. So I just hate that everyone groups him as that, and he's not limited to that. but yeah, anyways, he responded to it, and he disclosed that recently in May, he was just, especially with the VidCon stuff happening, and of course, like he disclosed in May during the time of all the VidCon stuff, that he was reached out by a production team. Doesn't matter who, doesn't matter who's involved. It was going to be some big production team that was going to be on some major streaming service. We don't know who it is because it, you know, it's unimportant. But they wanted to do a documentary about the Colleen situation. And so they reached out to him like 3 times. He ignored them, didn't reply, didn't want to. And then he finally replied to them and said, you know what, like, this is something in 2026 I really don't want to associate myself with anymore. Swoop did an amazing job with the documentary on YouTube. I think that's enough. Like, I have nothing else to say. Everything's been said. All the evidence is out there. You could literally Google it for yourself. The Swoop documentary covers from start to finish, even all the hiccups in between where people were coming out lying and defaming people. Like, Swoop does an amazing job. There's no need to drag this out with a mainstream documentary. And the fact that this is all internet drama, no one's going to watch it. Literally no one's going to watch it. And so Adam was just over it. He didn't want to be a part of it. And he also disclosed that someone behind the scenes was harassing him to do this documentary. And he was frustrated. He was so frustrated because from the looks of it, it was almost as if, you know, like, it was giving. Adam goes into detail about the people behind this documentary, and he says that some of the people that worked on this were the people that did the Quiet on Set documentary, and that also followed Johnny Silvestri. Johnny Silvestri came out as a liar in the Swoop documentary because he was parading around that he was a victim of grooming when he never actually was. And the Quiet on Set documentary portrayed Drake Bell as only a victim and totally disregarded the fact that he victimized other people and victimized another girl. So take that what you will, like, take what you will with that. That's why Adam was just like, you know what, I don't really want to be a part of this. It doesn't seem like you guys care about Becky and Oliver and the other and you know, the victims of Trent. You know, it just seems like it was very mainstream, and they did not care about uplifting victims' voices. It was giving cash grab, and people can tell when something is a cash grab. That doesn't take a rocket scientist to see, hey, you know what, this isn't safe for me. And another thing too, that time the Swoop documentary came out, Adam McIntyre, I honestly believe he was in the worst state possible, in the worst mental state possible, because of just how traumatizing it was to have to relive that and be asked all these questions and having all your business out there because you literally shared, you know, screenshots between you and Colleen, and you're a child, but yet you're having these feelings of guilt and wrongdoing. When you were literally a child, like, the adults in the situation didn't protect you and didn't take the responsibility of cutting things off and making sure you were safe. Like, and the fact that you have to carry that from your childhood going into like your 20s. Me and Adam are pretty much the same age. I'm 24, he's like 23, and I totally get it. Like, I've been in a position where it's like, oh my gosh, the adults that were around me in my life did not do what they were supposed to protect me, and now I'm carrying all this guilt, or people pushing their guilt for the trauma that I experienced, saying that it's my fault, and like all these other things when I was literally a child. And you know, the parental figures or the adults in the situation in your life were supposed to be there to protect you, but instead they took advantage of you. That's insane. Like, that's the effed up thing about it. So Adam literally said, I just don't want anything to do with this documentary. Like, if you guys want to do this documentary, continue without me. I just will not be speaking on it, but more power to you. That's literally all he said. All he said was, more power to you, continue this documentary without me. And that wasn't enough. People behind the scenes were blowing up his phone, blowing up his DMs, trying to call him, wanted him to hop on, trying to smooth talk him, thinking that they're oh so cool. And he never said who it was. He never said who was coming out and harassing him to do this documentary. And lo and behold, Joshua David Evans decides to rear his ugly head and says, oh, you know what, you totally gave it away. Like, people are now harassing me. Like, No, the freak, no one was harassing you. Like, I think you genuinely came out of the woodwork to take this as an opportunity to get some limelight and to get some views, because no one would have guessed it was you. No one would have guessed it was you. You want to know why no one was guessing that it was you that was harassing Adam behind the scenes? It was because you were made to look so damn good in the Swoop documentary. And you even admitted in the Swoop documentary that you were in inappropriate group chats with minors. Like, you were a part of that. That's sick as hell. That's sick as fuck. Like, you admitted that you were in on it. Like, you just, you know, put everything aside and you just let it be because you were so encapsulated with the fame and it was so hard to tell the difference as time went on. But you were Colleen Ballinger's right-hand man because you guys were married and you guys were going through a divorce. But Swoop did such a good job about letting you have a platform to plead your case and to change your life and turn it around. And all you wanted to do was just, you know, I just want to get back to the slow life and I just don't want to be in the limelight anymore. Doing this documentary was so much for me. Like, I just don't want to be a part of the internet anymore like that. You're a fucking liar. Because you just taking a step back from the internet, you just couldn't do it. You literally couldn't do it. And so you came out commenting on Adam's video saying, hey, you know, you exposed me that I was reaching out to you. You could have had a conversation with me. Like, it was fine. Why did it matter? Why does anybody owe you a conversation? You guys don't know each other. This is all on social media drama. You literally are someone that was victimizing people more and being a part of the problem rather than being a victim as a child. The only thing you're really a victim of is probably an abusive relationship with Colleen. But then again, you're over here coming at Adam, who's 23 years old and is trying to live a life and heal and just not have to be associated with a traumatic childhood. And you have a problem with that? Like, really take a seat and look at how crazy that sounds. You're, I don't know what, pushing 40 or 50, you have a whole wife and you have cats and you have a whole family, and you're over here stressing out over Adam, who literally is in the beginning of his 20s, and at the same time that you interacted with him, majority of your guys' existence was when he was a child. Like, that right there is weird as hell. Like, you're not good friends with him. Like, stop saying that you're good friends with him. Like, an old 40 to 50-year-old should not be good friends with a 23-year-old. I don't have 40 to 50-year-old friends like that. I have family. I have father figures. Like, I have a godfather and I have an aunt. But no, I don't have like almost 50-year-old friends. I'm sorry, I don't. That are close and intimate like that. And Adam has definitely disclosed that you were telling him all the ins and outs about your crazy divorce and relationship with Colleen, just how Colleen was telling all her ins and outs about y'all's sex life. So let's not act like this was a normal mentorship, familial relationship. No, this is very disgusting and exploitative, and that's what it is, the bare minimum. So he comes out and basically is saying, like, you know, Adam, it's very messed up of you to just throw me under the bus. We could have had a conversation about it. And Adam's just like, dude, no, I don't owe you that. And you should just leave me alone. Go do the documentary. I don't want to be a part of it. Like, it's fine. Whatever. Okay? Simple. Joshua then, like, this is why I believe Joshua thinks that this is the opportunity to get back into, like, or not even get back into the content space, to literally become a drama channel. He starts posting sunflower emojis on, you know, Adam's page, see you at VidCon bro, and Peter Mon's YouTube, and leaving sunflower emojis under there, changing his description on YouTube to a sunflower emoji. Now, this just proves that you are not sorry for what you did. If here we are in 2026 and Colleen didn't get canceled for speaking with minors, I honestly believe that you would still be in group chats with them, talking to anyone you could that's a minor about how Colleen wronged you. And if Colleen didn't get canceled, you definitely would have stayed in that in any situation to keep the power and control over these fans or minors, because that's just sick to me. you specifically talked about in the Swoop documentary how that sunflower emoji was used to make fun of fans and bully little kids, and here you are using it as like a haha gotcha moment because you think it's funny and you're trolling because that's what people want. Like, at the end of the day, it's giving performative, it's giving you just want to be in the limelight, and I genuinely hope that you don't have a platform ever again, because that's just dangerous. Why are you, like, at that point, it's not even funny. Because, you know, we always get it like, oh, the trolls, your haters, any hate is, it's still, you know, hate still pushes your algorithm. It's like, at the end of the day, I don't want my digital footprint to be that I'm crashing out, sending sunflower emojis, bullying adults the way I used to bully kids in my digital footprint. I just don't want that. And as a 24-year-old, I think that's a very, you know, mature thing to say. And as your grown age, I think you should be way more mature than that. And I mean, you could have easily expressed how you wish Adam would have talked to you, and you didn't have to do all the petty stuff. Not even petty, you didn't have to do all the like borderline abusive stuff, the borderline icky stuff of leaving that comment there with the sunflower emoji. Like, it's very sick to me. It's giving very demented, and your wife is just as crazy for putting up with that, because that's disrespect. I think it's disrespectful in general if my husband was so hung up about his ex-wife to where he feels the need to start harassing all of her victims and making it a big deal. I would want out of that marriage so damn quick, because where's the emotional regulation? There isn't any, clearly. So that's why I think he's using this as an opportunity to become a drama channel, because he does not have the talent or the ability to push his channel to any more heights, or to grow his channel, even though he has over 1 million subscribers. I think it's at a point where you should take a look in the mirror. I really think you should take a look in the mirror. Yeah. So here we are, right? Here we are in the middle of June, and this was the reason why I had to make this video. And this is the last point where it's just like, Joshua David Evans, you are just horrible. And, you know, I really wanted to make this video as someone who's been in this position before, with the management side of things, and people reaching out to me about, you know, giving them a percentage of my Instagram earnings, or a percentage of earnings that, you know, a video did a while back ago. And it's just really, this video is very much a PSA to never. If you are a up-and-coming creator, you do not need to pay for a manager to get you to your goals. Period, end point. You do not need a manager. You do not need a talent agency. You do not need to, you know, sell yourself to someone. Everything that you can learn to be successful on any platform, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, Kick, you can learn through Google. You could learn through YouTube. And the people that are giving out this information for free, they know what they're talking about, because they will continue to give you valuable content, because, you know, if they continue to give you free valuable content, then you know that their work is genuine. Because the day and age is the people that, same thing I believe with like college professors, people that don't know how to do something will teach it. Period, end point. You always have unqualified people that are professors. You have unqualified people that become these life coaches. You have unqualified people that become these mentors. It's just a scam. It literally is, because you can be successful just by doing the research and taking the time to do things yourself. Even with ChatGPT, I don't even like using AI. I hate AI, but that's literally, your own personal manager at that point. There's no need to really pay for that anymore. So the reason why I wanted to talk about this today is literally because it has come out that Joshua David Evans was hired as a manager for Studio 71. And like I was saying, if you get approached by anyone that's saying, hey, you know, I want to be your manager and all you have to do is give us 10% of your earnings, no. Do not do it. Those contracts are filled with horrible clauses and a lot of things, you know, that you just want to get checked by a lawyer if you do decide to do anything like that. Like I said, I was reached out to multiple times about like my personal business, you know, hey, you know, we'll give you all these leads if you just pay this and this and this, or if you just give us such and such and such of your earnings, no. Or hey, you know, we'll give you, we'll help you grow your Instagram page if you just give us 5% of your revenue. I'm like, no, like you can grow your page, your social media, your content all on your own just by Googling and YouTubing your way to the top. Okay, that's what I believe in. And consistency will beat talent and research 1,000%. You just have to be consistent. You really just have to be consistent. But that's just my take on it. But anyways, Joshua David Evans, I guess this is his job now, as you know, while still being able to, I don't know, work from home and, you know, still have somewhat of a YouTube presence with his wife by being a YouTube manager. So he basically reached out to this creator called Gavin Reads It All about being a YouTube manager, and this seems like the sweetest soul ever. He's not in the YouTube drama commentary space. He's on Book Talk, which honestly, like, I'm trying to get into Book Talk too, but he literally is on Book Talk, or is on BookTube, sorry, and sharing, you know, skits and videos about books he's read, and you building a community entirely about that. That is his MO. He does not want to be involved in drama. He does not. But imagine being a client of Joshua David Evans and you have all these problems coming up because you're in this partnership and you're getting ghosted. You are getting immensely ghosted, and you see your manager posting and crashing out on social media and basically like trying to have gotcha moments and trolling people. I'd be like, hello, are you getting my emails? Like, at this point, you should have just given me your personal contact, or give me your supervisor's contact. At this point, I would be speaking to a supervisor. I would not be speaking to Joshua David Evans with how much he has been ignoring me, has not given a crap about what's been going on with my personal finances and how scared I've been. Gavin literally was, you know, Gavin doesn't even do brand deals because of how authentic he wants to stay and how afraid he is of just getting taken advantage of. Gavin actually posted an hour-long video explaining in detail about all the things that he was experiencing being a client of Joshua David Evans. I'm actually going to leave that down there so that you can personally take a look at it. In a summary, Joshua David Evans was feeding this man AI slop. He didn't know what actually Gavin Reads It All's channel was about because he was just feeding him AI slop. The emails that he was responding with were AI, allegedly, and he basically just went weeks on weeks without talking to his client after his client was reaching out over and over again and expressing the concern that their funds were being withheld for an extended period of time. The way YouTube AdSense works is that you get paid on like Wednesday or every month. He wasn't getting his payments to 2 weeks to a couple months after, and to this day he is still owed months May and June of his ad revenue. And in those ad revenue you know, months that he has not received, he still contractually has to give up 10% of whatever he has made. At the end of his video, he talked about how he was so vulnerable and was basically saying he has over $3,000 in bills and he only has like less than $2,000 to $1,500 in his bank account to pay those bills for his month, for the upcoming month, and he's stressed out. And this is crazy because people, average everyday people like us, are literally fighting to survive. I don't think people understand how how we're like silently struggling. And that's where I drew the line, where I was like, okay, now you're playing with someone's livelihood and they're one paycheck away from like homelessness. That's not freaking funny. That's actually fucked up. And you, as someone who is living comfortably, who see you at VidCon, bro, like, get the fuck out of here. Like, that's just so sick to me. Like, you know, there's people that are out here working 2-3 jobs, fighting in this economy, and the fact that, you know, I have a roof over my head, I have food in the fridge, I have a bed to sleep on. I am blessed beyond belief. Granted, you know, if you have that, you clean water, you are blessed beyond belief. But it still is stressful. It still is hard when you feel like you're one paycheck away from a fucking disaster. Okay, because I've been there. And I literally am still climbing out of it, you know, planning for a whole funeral for my mom. Like, I know what it's like. So my heart was literally breaking for Gavin because, dude, like, that's just so messed up. And Joshua David Evans' reaction to that was, you know, you're only seeing it from a point of view, is claiming it as YouTube drama, and I'm blocking you now because you're, you know, your obsession with keeping tabs on my socials and seeing me post has made me uncomfortable. And to top it off, when Gavin asked to be removed from this contract multiple times, you said, it's going to take me about a week to get in contact with the people, you know, at Studio 71. And, you know, I'm going to need some time to get, get everyone involved that needs to be involved. And literally as soon as Gavin posted his hour-long video, like I said, I'm going to link it so you can see it for yourself and support him, give him all the views. Within 2 hours, he was dropped from his contract. He was dropped, which means he can get his channel back entirely now. He does not have to pay out to anyone. He owns his channel, but it took 2 hours. And this man still has not been paid for the months of May and June. Joshua David Evans, I would love for you to not get paid for 2 months. How would you live life if you did not get paid for 2 months? I know I would be shitting bricks. Like, that's insane to not get paid for 2 months. So that's pretty much my video. I just wanted to leave it there and literally reiterate that if you are an up and coming content creator and let's say you even have like 500,000 subscribers, you do not need a manager. You really don't, you really don't need someone to, give you content ideas and to look over your thumbnails and to write email lists for you. If you really want that info, like if you really want, support, and if you want advice, if you want content ideas, and if you want to collaborate, there are other creators out there that are genuine, that have done the thing, who are doing the thing currently, that will share with you, that do not gatekeep. There are people out there that literally will get you where you need to go. I am one of those creators. If you want to, if you want to sign to start posting your content, if you want to sign to start doing Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, whatever, this is your sign to just go for it. And putting yourself out there in consistency is going to get you much more progress than just staying in analysis paralysis mode where you are second guessing everything that you're doing. But I just wanted to share that. And, like I said, I made this video because I genuinely have no one to talk about it with, because no one is like chronically online or like watching, the YouTube commentary space like I am. But just an FYI, like, this is beyond messed up, and we just need to stop making the wrong people famous. I truly believe that we need to stop doing that. Yeah, those are my 2 cents. But I will see you guys in the next one.